Hello, everybody, and welcome to Discoverers, the only podcast online that reads, reviews, and ranks all 41 of Terry Pratchett's seminal Discworld series of comic fantasy novels. I am your host, Iris J. With me are my illustrious co-hosts. Why don't y'all introduce yourselves, starting with, let's go with Belina first, and then June, and then Grace. Just by random arbitrary order.
Yeah, sure.
I am still Belina. I think I'm just still happy to be here. That's enough for me.
I'm June, and I really wish I was introducing myself on a better episode of this podcast.
Hi, I'm the internet's beloved Princess Grace. I rule this book blue. Let's talk about it.
I love how you've just got this practiced infomercial voice going.
What can I say? I'm on a lot of podcasts.
Part of being a sentient virus is knowing how to market yourself well. Because being a meme is all about getting in other people's heads.
The ones that aren't successful at this just die out. So by nature, the fact that we have all known her for so long means that she's good at this.
Precisely, yeah. Oh, you never got to meet Brace or Space or Nace.
I'd really like to meet Space sometime, but...
Yeah, Space is a
cool.
pretty cool name,
Space seems
actually.
cool.
Yeah.
Space is absolutely another queer person name out there. If you're named Space, hit us up. Hello.
Hello. Excellent name.
Yeah. Anyways, today we are talking about the 9th book in the Discworld series published in 1990. Eric, originally produced with illustrations by Josh Kirby. Did any of y'all get the edition that included the illustrations?
Nope.
No.
Mine was a perfectly legal .txt file. It would have been difficult.
Okay, yeah. I didn't get one with the illustrations, too. I checked out some of the illustrations via a internet search later, and they're absolutely Josh Kirby drawings. Really, toe to tip, very Josh Kirby.
Everyone looks kind of like a Precious Moments figurine that was left out in the sun.
Very glad I was sober when I looked at them.
Melt, Rincewind, with the power to melt.
Wow, is that a Kablam reference?
It is.
Damn right it is.
Going fucking deep.
I want to play real quick.
We had to dig back to 1990.
I want to play real quick that the two people who are most known for drawing Discworld art are Josh Kirby, is that it?
Yeah.
And Paul Kidby. They have the exact same last name except for one letter, and that is so
British people
confusing to me all the time.
British people get
confused
different
constantly.
names.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
It doesn't help that their first names have 4 letters and are very, very common names. So.
And also that one of them is like, I appreciate, love some of, really like others, and like, this is good on the rest of the art. And I don't like Josh Kirby or his art. I think it's bad.
Yeah, art is subjective, but I feel like Josh Kirby definitely belongs to a different era. An era with a lot of blacklight posters and patchouli smoke. An era that maybe we have left behind as a society.
This is going to sound like damning with faint praise or whatever, but this would look great on the side of a van.
Yeah, I was about to say. It'd be perfect on the side of a van.
Like, if I had a van, like this demon dude in his pajamas, yeah, I could see that.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
really my gender, but like I could see it, you know?
And the other nice things about vans is that they usually don't have prose attached to them. Which could not be said for this book. It is, in fact, mostly composed of it.
This book absolutely does not have many prose attached to it, no.
Hey.
Oh, my God.
Hey. Look, some fans do have words on them. They just tend to say things like, where the hell is well drug? And, honk if you're horny.
This guy fucks big Italians, any gender.
Yeah.
Big time!
Keep humpking, I'm dumb as hell.
Anyways.
All of these jokes are, in fact, better than almost anything in the book we just read.
Which is a stupendous accomplishment. Before we get too deep into it, I'd like for us to maybe go over the plot really quick. And to that, of course, we will turn to our Synoptrix Supreme, Belina, for a quick play-by-play rundown of what exactly occurs in Eric. Belina, if you're ready, would you mind taking it away?
Absolutely. Rincewind has been running away through the gap between universes for the last 3 books, and only stops now when he's accidentally summoned by teenage demonology dabbler Eric Thursley. Thursley mistakenly believes that Rincewind is useful, making 3 wishes as he would to any demon: to be the ruler of the world, to meet the most beautiful woman in all history, and to live forever. Rincewind intends to press the case that he's not a demon, but when he snaps his fingers, the two find themselves in the rainforest of Klatch, because that's the only foreign nation in this entire world set, where they are discovered by the Tezuman tribe, who believe Eric to be the ruler of the world. This is a bad thing, as their religion wishes to complain to upper management in a very visceral way. They escape because the luggage shows up and steps on Quetzalcoatl, the minor demon that inspired the Tezuman religion to begin with. Rincewind snaps his fingers again, and the pair appear in the middle of the not-Trojan War between Ephebe and Sort. You might remember this from being endlessly referenced in Pyramids, but apparently the horse trick didn't even really work back then. The pair meet up with Laviolus, who is probably Rincewind's ancestor, and wins wars by not fighting them. The group finds and extracts the not Helen of Troy, aka Eleanor, who the book dumps upon for being a normal human woman. War over, Rincewind snaps his fingers again, and the pair are now at the dawn of time, saying hello to this creator deity and complaining about egg sandwiches. To live forever apparently means to live through the whole of creation start to finish. Snapping no longer works, so the pair do one of Eric's summoning circles backwards and end up in hell. Hell is, unfortunately, modernized. Tedium is far worse than torture, and the entire book was actually an old-school demon lord distracting Kermit demon lord / Spirit Halloween reject Astifical long enough to gather support to trick Asty into a bureaucratic hell of its own making, promoting its supreme life president of hell so things go back to normal. Rincewind and Eric escape to parts unknown, and the demons go back to business as usual, content in the same knowledge that we've just gained. Things can always be worse.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
That was a good
Thank you.
ending.
That
there.
was a really, really well put together summary.
Yeah.
It was unfortunately almost every bit of plot in the entire book.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
How many times will we make the joke of this thing was better than everything in the book?
Yeah. It was also about as long, because this book is actually not very long at all. It was originally a novella. My copy is 197 very generously typeset pages.
I kind of originally thought it was because it was illustrated, but in order to pad this thing out, you would have to be like a fucking comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you could see one of the pages Iris posted, right? Like,
yeah,
are they all like that, where they all have like 4 or 5 lines of text and then the rest is illustrated?
No way.
They can't all be like that.
Yeah.
No way.
No.
This is kind of one of the more baffling things about the book. It's just like, okay, what is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been holding on to this one. So in like a sitcom where they need to establish that a couple of people are playing a video game, so you only see the back of the television and they're holding this little controller that's trying to jump out of their hands like it's a live rodent. They're just mashing all the buttons at once while some complete nonsense sounds happen on the TV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Discworld equivalent to that.
Oh my god, you're right.
Can you get to level 10? 50 points. Watch out for the demons.
Gotta tighten up the graphics on level 3.
It just didn't have anything really to do with Discworld.
Yeah.
Like, why the hell is there a Christian hell?
But it's also kind of Greek hell, because like Sisyphus is there.
Yeah, and they reference they reference Eurydice and Orpheus, and also Persephone.
It's just baffling all the way through.
I said this before the podcast, but like halfway through my notes I wrote like, this is just pyramids again. Like it's like if anything it's more racist than pyramids. Like they treat the not Aztecs way worse than they treated the not Egyptians.
God, yeah.
The fact that we're doing the horse joke again when that was like this central part to the one little section in Pyramids.
Yeah.
But the whole point is that the horse trick didn't work the first time.
It's even more insulting knowing that book was like 2 books ago. There is only guards separating Pyramids and this book.
So you think we
which
forgot?
means that they came out with that last that came out in 1989. This came out in 1990. A year had passed. Maybe not even that. Why?
Yeah, like it's just pyramids again, and then there's a little Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy thing, and then they go to hell, and then hell is mostly Sir Terry complaining about a bad vacation he had.
I have like an actual thought on this in terms of what this book is. This book feels like leftovers. Mm-hmm. This book feels like Terry had a bunch of ideas while writing his other books, and he was like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if hell was like a business because businesses suck? Hey, wouldn't it be funny if like the like the Odyssey was just like about a dude who was just really normal and cool. Hey, wouldn't it be funny if like all of these things, and then was just like, how do I use these amazing ideas I've had? Let's just shove them at Rincewind. Rincewind can run through them.
I think Grace was onto something on saying it was there was a chunks of it were just very Hitchhiker's Guide. Like, we kind of talked about that during the first couple books, but we dropped the thread of how it's very hard to not see comparisons between Terry Pratchett and Douglas Adams. But as we dig into the Discworld books, we keep going, oh, this comparison just never ever holds up, does it? But it really holds up here.
Yeah, like they do the exact same Hitchhiker's Guide bit where they talk to the guy whose job is to make the planet. Like, they talk to a guy who's like, oh yeah, well I've come up with a new 7-pointed snowflake, and I love doing the little fiddly bits on the fjords or whatever. It's the same bit except worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that also like it's weird how like you said that the idea of it being just like drabble that he came up with in a side folder makes a lot of sense because like so many of the jokes in this come down to the shared thread of people complaining about things. The Tezumen want to complain to their gods. Laviolus wants to complain to the Ephebian army. The creator of the universe wants to complain to his bosses, I guess. The demons want to complain to Asphodel. Asphodel wants to complain to Rincewind. This other old demon guy, whose name is escaping me right now, also wants to complain to Asphodel. Rincewind and Eric's job in this is to move from place to place and listen to people complain. And while I guess some sort of comedic reaction is expected from these things, it mostly, to me, kind of came off as like a bitch fest. Like, there's only so much complaining that you can really muster before it's like, all right, why are we even looking at this?
Yeah, we get it. Like, the joke is that, like, you're doing a Dilbert. You're doing a Dilbert set in hell, right? Like, the demons all, like, wear button-up shirts and they wear ties, and it's just really boring, right? That's the whole joke. And everyone would really like to just get back to the torture.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the issues with this book is that it's just, like, it's worse than even the other Rincewind books, because at least the other Rincewind books you had Rincewind constantly complaining contrasted with slightly racist, but dude who is enthusiastic about everything and thinks it's all good vibes and everything's gonna be cool.
It's bizarre that Eric is a shitty version of Two Flower.
Eric just sucks.
Yeah, he's really not fun. No,
he's a shitty, horny 13-year-old, right? Like, he's a 13-year-old who sits in his bedroom all day and, like, summons demons in order to get laid. Like, that's his whole thing, is he's like...
Thank God he doesn't have any idea what he'd do with one.
I've read some great pieces on, like, AO3 and stuff about that exact kind of setup. But here, like, Terry just wastes it.
Yeah, Hi, welcome to Disc Pass, the episode where we discuss whether Eric Thursley knows what sex is.
He does not.
No, absolutely not. Like, that is in the story objectively.
Yeah.
They make a joke about it, and the joke isn't funny. And every single time they're like, haha, isn't it funny that this 14-year-old boy wants to have sex but doesn't know what it is? It's never funny.
Yeah.
Hey, remember
it's not funny once.
Remember in Equal Rights where Esk not knowing what sex is what actually was funny?
Because she's in a store that sells, sex potions.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, she had a character.
Yeah.
Like, Eric's entire character is just, he sucks.
Yeah, Eric doesn't even get to do much. Like, I kind of forgot he was there half the time.
He, like, fades out by the end, and he doesn't even have, the shitbag persona to fall back on. He's just kind of like, oh, he knows a little bit about, like, Greek history, or Ephebian history, and he's there to listen to people complain, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's confusing and awful and not a fun book to read.
And now you at home get to listen to us complain. Such as about the fact that, like, the book just ends. Like, it just ends with them climbing the stairs out of hell, which is paved with good intentions.
I thought that was pretty funny. That was a good joke.
Yeah. That was funny.
It was very Douglas Adams, but it was a good bit. Okay, I want to point out two things. One, Douglas Adams is funny, and the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy books are very good. At least the first one is. They kind of drop off in quality as time goes on.
When the depression starts to sit in,
It's a complex discussion about how good the different Hitchhiker's Guide books are. That we're not the Hitchhiker's Guide pod, we're the Disc pod.
So long and thanks for all the fish. It's the best of the sequels. Sorry, don't argue with me on this.
Anyways, 2, Iris pointed out before the podcast, this is our last real chance to just bitch about Discworld. Like, from here on out, most of the books are at least interesting, or if not good, they do something fun or cool with their time. We'll have other bad books, but I have a feeling that this is going to be the last utterly terrible book for a very long time. So it's time for us to really get those feelings out.
We're going to be doing Moving Pictures next, and Moving Pictures is another pop culture parody one, but unless I'm just badly misremembering, it's actually interesting.
Yeah.
But it's also actually set in Discworld, so that helps.
It can't be as bad as this.
It's going to... I think reading this immediately before Moving Pictures is really going to do Moving Pictures a lot of favors.
Yeah.
But I also remember it as being, like, not, like, amazing, but perfectly fine. I remember reading it when I was a teenager and thinking, oh, I'm glad I read that. Mm-hmm. This was just nothing. And also, like, I really want to, like, go back to the whole point about how Eric is a shittier two-flower.
Yeah.
Like, to the point also where, like, Rincewind is a shittier Rincewind in this book. Because I was having fond memories of the Light Fantastic while reading this, and I know something is wrong when that's happening. But I remember in the Light Fantastic where Rincewind, like, actually manages to do a little bit of magic. Like just a little bit squirts out of his hand thanks to extenuating circumstances. And it's like he just saw the face of God. Like,
he loves it.
It is like he has gotten a taste of the divine. Like, he almost can't comprehend it. It is so amazing. In this, he's like snapping his fingers and immediately traveling to different worlds, and all he's doing is kind of mildly whining about it and also being like, oh no, what's gonna happen next?
He never even
that's
tries
weird.
to cast a regular spell.
No,
It never even crosses his mind.
It's like he's returned, but it's like Terry, without the Octavo element, Terry doesn't even have any reason for him to be around anymore. He's just kind of there to show, oh, this is a Discworld book. And that's also, like, weird because without Rincewind there, this, like we've been saying, this isn't a Discworld book. And that begs the question, why bother to have it illustrated at all? Why bother putting it into Discworld at all?
Yeah, like...
It's really confusing.
Like, you just had Rincewind lying around, I guess. Like, maybe because this book does start with, like, a whole long footnote explaining the events of Sourcery in case you didn't see it, explaining why Rincewind is there. Yeah,
it's like the book was actually much better when it was still doing all of its setup stuff.
Yeah, when, like, we get to see the library, we get to meet the librarian again, like, yeah.
And it is interesting that it is meant to be like a direct sequel to Sourcery, to the point where they, like, mention it at the beginning of the book.
Yeah. It was funny that it's like the wizards just have to keep shuffling their feet and insisting they must have been out of town when the world almost ended. That was funny because that was the Unseen University being the Unseen University.
Yeah, it was really good. Like, the book opens on, like, we see Death keeping bees.
Yeah,
which is just charming. Someone says, oh shit, which I think is the first time I've seen an actual swear.
There have been a few, but really like one or two per book. And this book has like a bunch of them, which is strange.
It almost feels like this is like alternate universe Terry Pratchett. One universe where he grows up and writes guards, and then the other universe where he does this.
Oh my god.
This is the weirdest application of the Trousers of Time we're ever going to see.
I was just going to say, we're down the wrong leg with this one.
It kind of has this feel like somebody just held a gun to Terry's head.
Yeah. Well, also, like, think about, like, how, like, the previous year, we got Wyrd Sisters and Pyramids, and then, like, before that it was, like, was it Sourcery and Wyrd Sisters And then, well, anyways, it just seemed like for the first few like years of Discworld's runtime, it was like he was putting out one really solid to good novel and one like really half-baked novel like per year, which is really a strange output.
Yeah, this book is weird. It's weird and it's bad, which is much worse than being weird and interesting.
Do you think maybe he's every year he just sat down with two perfectly average books and then just sort of shuffled the good parts into one and the bad parts into the other?
Terrible style of writing. One of them gets the dominant genes.
The super book method.
I think, and we've touched on this a bit so far, but I think one of the things that really gets to me about this book is it's so completely plotless.
Yeah.
Like Guards has such a thorough line through it. It struggles a bit here still because it's like, okay, in the end the mystery just gets solved, no problem. Mm-hmm. But you feel like, at least in Guards, you feel like, okay, I know where the plot is going, I know what has to be done, I know what the stakes are. Here it's not even clear what's going on at any moment. It really is just like, I want Rincewind to do some wacky shenanigans.
They get to they get to hell, and then, oh, by the way, this whole thing was just a giant distraction.
Yeah.
Like, there's some little things about it, like, Astaphyl, whatever, was watching Rincewind the whole time, but, like, there was no real mention of, actually some other demon lord who was pretending to be slacking for these first couple bits. He actually was the one doing all the magic stuff every time Rincewind snapped his fingers, and it was all just a giant distraction. But that just kind of feels like a last-second thing.
Yeah.
Sort of got shoveled in. It's like, oh, right, I had to put them in hell for some reason.
Yeah, it feels like he had... I think like, we've talked a bit before about Pratchett sometimes seeming like he kind of knows certain elements of a book and then just wings the rest of it in a way that doesn't work. This really feels like he was like, okay, I have an idea for how to get Rincewind out of the dungeon dimension, and it's funny. And then I have an idea for how to end this book, and it's a funny bit involving hell. Mm-hmm. What do I do in the middle?
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever the hell I want. I can do anything. Fuck it.
Yeah, he's got 3 wishes, and they're going to be interpreted weirdly. Like, that's the thing, right? Is like, it does feel like it's assembled from scratch, you say, because, like, the first bit's really good. I have a lot of notes for that, because, like, you know, the part where, like, Rincewind is bratting Eric, even though he's ostensibly the demon that's been summoned, is pretty cute and good.
Oh, yeah.
It was still, Rincewind was still being Rincewind for at least a little while there, as he was desperately trying to talk his way out, despite having no idea what his bargaining position is.
Yeah, you get a good bit about, like, you know, the demon had to leave his post, call of supernature, my lord. And then right about the weird bit about, like, those Amazons, they kidnap men for manly tasks, like putting up shelves and mowing the lawn. And,
this is a Douglas Adams joke.
A weird joke about advanced horology.
Oh, God, right.
Right?
That joke was funnier when they made it in Sex Criminals.
Yeah.
By Matt Fraction. But the Amazonian joke was double confusing to me. Not just because of, like, the sexism, but also because, like, the term Amazonian implies the existence of an Amazon, either real or mythical. Where on the Discworld was there an Amazon? Because that wasn't part of their mythos at all.
This is something that I genuinely like. One of the issues with Discworld in general is that Pratchett really wants to write comedy that's based on, haha, look, it's England, and then doesn't consider that you kind of have to have a history to do things.
Yeah.
Like, this was my reason that, like, the jokes about racism in a lot of the books fell really flat, because you can't write, here's colonialism in a British place, and then have your place not have any history of colonialism.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, and just, there's no history to a lot of the Discworld in this way, and it sucks.
Yeah. Like, remember when they get to hell and, like, Terry goes on this, like, whole long thing describing just this really boring, shitty hotel experience that's bad. I was like, did you have a bad vacation, Terry? Like, are you just venting spleen about, like, a bad trip you went on?
He absolutely was, for sure. And, like, it's it's really noticeable in this book. Just to get it out of the way and rip the Band-Aid off, I'd like to talk about the Tezumen a little bit.
Yeah, it was inevitable.
Yeah,
I tried to skim over that as best as I could.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's something that I've got to broach.
It is our solemn duty as podcasters.
Yes, to let you know that your favorite British fantasy author did not, in fact, have any idea what the fuck he was talking about sometimes. And one of those times is pre-Columbian civilizations. In this case, the Tezumen are kind of they're like it's like he wanted to like include like, oh, I already did one ancient civilization that builds pyramids, I should include the other one. But he like read like, I don't know, like an Encarta 95, well, it was 1990. He read an Encyclopedia Britannica summary of like what the Aztecs were about, and he's like, yeah, all right, cool, that's all I need to know. Okay, bye. What kind of joke's gonna make with that? And like, it's half that and half like the most cartoonish idea of like indigenous Central American peoples. It's like Tintin comic book levels. It's not good.
Yeah, it's so bad. It also has all of my least favorite Terry Pratchett bits, namely the haha, if I make jokes about racism and I make jokes about racist expectations, I'm not racist. And then you can't just subvert something and then have it be there loudly for the subversion and go, see, it's not racist because I subverted it.
If you say the shitty thing as a joke, you still said the shitty thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like also there's a cameo from Ponce de Quirm, who is Juan Ponce de Leon. And the Tezumen themselves are named after Montezuma, essentially, who was like the last ruler of the Aztec Empire before Cortez came in and basically slashed and burned the place. And so it's like this is like Mesoamerican culture as viewed through the lens of somebody who has only known it through colonialism, who only understands it within the context of being a prelude to being colonized. And the fact that it's set in Clash, which is just kind of there's
only one foreign nation in all of Discworld at this point.
Mm-hmm. It's the foreign one. It's the foreign country, and that's it. And it's like it's so lazy. Also, the fact that like the whole Quetzalcoatl thing is kind of a riff on how it's kind of, if what I remember is correct, it's not actually entirely factual, but like the old story that originally when Cortez visited the Tenochtitlan, Montezuma was under the impression that he was a reincarnation of Quetzalcoatl because there was some sort of mythical sort of byline that said that he would come back as a very pale person with golden hair. I'm like 99% sure that story has been debunked and is like bullshit. But that's the story that Terry is going off of there, where it's like they think that Eric is like this incarnation of their god because he's this dopey little white kid.
Yeah. And he had wished to be the ruler of the world, right? That's
exactly.
That's the through line here. I don't know how will we explain that, but that's the through line here, is that.
Not to mention it muddles and flattens like the entire history of Mesoamerican civilization into a very cartoony idea of, oh, they built pyramids, they didn't know how wheels worked, and they killed a shit ton of people, and that's all I care about, baby. How's that for a fun
He really
setting?
harped on the does not know how wheels work thing, and there's there's especially a secondary joke where they're, since they're putting up these big complaints to the heavens about everything about their lives that suck.
And like they did know how actual Mesoamerican civilizations did know how wheels worked. It's just also a lot of them were living in heavily forested areas, and like maybe if you thought for 2 seconds why, like, I don't know, whatever, we're not getting into this conversation right now. It was stupid.
Bad.
It was stupid and bad. It's gross.
It's frustrating because like I like the idea of the gods will send a messenger and then we will use that to voice our displeasure. That I'm sure you could make something with that joke, but this ain't it.
Like, I also want to kill God. I get it. I have a bone to pick with the guy, too.
But, I mean, his Dark Materials, this isn't, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And then also, like, Quetzalcoatl being, like, essentially, like, a very minor demon in the grand scheme of things was also just kind of like a, really, y'all? Like, you're going to make the center of their religion just, like, a tiny joke? Yeah. Like, it just felt so... Especially considering all of the work that Terry has started to put into building up the concept of what gods are in previous books like Pyramids, and will eventually come to fruition with in books like Small Gods. This just feels like such a pointlessly, like,
mean
jerk move.
Yeah.
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 Anyways, sorry, we don't have to talk about that part of the book anymore. It just pissed me off so much while I was reading it, and I was like, oh, I gotta fucking talk about this shit.
It's one of a number of parts that just aren't good or fun to read.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good book.
No.
Also, like, I don't know. It still reeks of that same sort of, like, you see, I am smart and not racist, so I can make jokes about racism because it's bad, and I'm aware of this. I'm very smart, and, like...
Yeah, like they say that the Tezamen used to worship a stick. Like, that's just a shitty thing to say. Like, you're just making fun of them for no reason. That's not even based on anything. Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also has a lot of internet atheist vibes.
Oh
yeah.
I know that religion is bad because I don't believe in Christianity, and all religions are basically
again,
bad.
It's pyramids again. The first 2/3 of this book are pyramids again.
I at least appreciate that in the end the Tezamen decide to abandon religion altogether and they become atheists, which, quote unquote, means that they still get to kill a lot of people, but they don't have to wake up so early in the morning. That's at least one funny joke about it. But...
There it is, the one funny atheism joke in this book.
Also, Grace, I'd like to argue with you. This book isn't pyramids. It's worse than pyramids. I enjoy large sections.
Well,
of
yes,
pyramids.
but you see what I'm getting at, right? Like, it's
yes.
He's. This is the recycled bits of pyramids that didn't work, right? Like,
just
with
please
all the...
bring our boy back home to Ankh-Morpork so he can write things that he knows about.
Bring our boy back. Well, actually, wait. When does Rincewind actually come back in the books?
Interesting times.
Oh.
The
17th
book.
Now.
Well, the good news is it's 8 books from now. The bad news is...
So we don't have to worry about it this year.
Unfortunately, Interesting Times, according to Wikipedia, takes place in Imperial China.
Very cool!
Oh, boy.
Excited to hear those super well-informed opinions that a British person has about China.
I mean, at least it's a continent other than Clatch.
And hey, maybe we'll see Two Flower again.
It does take place on
the
Agatean Empire on the Counterweight continent.
Yeah, it does take place on the Counterweight continent. Two Flower does factor in.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Their roles are reversed. Did I mention that in between the last episode and now? Not to distract us from talking about this shit stain of a book too much, but in between the last episode and now, we actually watched the TV miniseries adaptations of The Color of Magic and The Light Fantastic. And they had Sean Astin of, Samwise Gamgee fame, Lord of the Rings, playing Two Flower as an American tourist. Which I thought
that sounds like it would make a lot more sense.
It was a very smart move. They just dressed him in like an Aloha shirt, and they had him talk a little bit of fake language, but then after 3 lines, he starts talking in fluent Ankh-Morporkian, and Rincewind was like, "Oh, you can just speak the language." And Two Flower's like, "Well, yeah, I took a correspondence course, of course. I just carry the guidebook around because it's what tourists are supposed to do."
Which is weird. This is a good version of these same jokes.
Yeah, it's weird because it's weird to say it, but I actually liked these TV movie adaptations of the first 2 books quite a bit more than the books, mostly because they edit out all of the parts that feel extraneous, they tie up some loose ends, And they have Tim Curry, who really improves anything that he's in by a considerable margin.
No matter how bad the source material may be, he's still having a great old time.
It's true.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, the guy who played Rincewind had wanted to play Rincewind since, like, the 80s, but they only got around to making televised adaptations of The Color of Magic in, like, this was, like, 2008, so he was kind of an old guy. So they made the joke about Rincewind having just been, like an undergrad at Unseen University for 40 years and just not graduating yet.
That's
makes
really
sense.
good!
That's
Which
amazing.
is so good. They're actually surprisingly fun. I recommend them. They're nice. They're not like they don't have a ton of a budget with them, but they do what they can with what they have, and it's pretty cool. Also, Bethany is in them, and she is like 32, which thank you.
Thank God.
Thank you. But yeah. Anyways, that's trip report.
That sounds better than what we read. God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Also, Jeremy Irons is in it as Lord Vetinari, and he does the same little, like, weird lisp that Terry Pratchett himself used to have, which was a nice little, like, I see what you did there, Jeremy. That's very cute. He plays a good Vetinari.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
so we're like 37 minutes in, and I'm not really sure what else we want to talk about, to be honest. I know that we've kind of skimmed over like the entire middle third, but
I mean, like, we did get some good time travel jokes out of it. Like, so the bit is they get sent back in time to the Ephebian War or whatever, or the other one. I forget.
Yeah, they were geography.
But they go back and like they don't really make a secret about being time travelers. And like someone gets mad at them for spoiling the war. Which is pretty funny.
I have to say, out of all the sections of this book, aside from the weird thing where Pratchett is like, wow, it sure would suck to be an older lady. That's so weird and awful.
Yeah. What if Helen of Troy just looked normal?
What if Helen of Troy looked normal and was a lady with kids? That'd be so awful, right? Was like one of my least favorite jokes in the book. But like, aside from that, the joke of like... the joke of what if he was just some dude is actually really funny.
Yeah.
It feels like there could have been a whole Discworld book that was an ancient Discworld book or something like that.
I commented outside of the podcast that, I kind of felt bad for Laviolus because he was probably the most sympathetic character in the entire book.
Yeah.
And he was just Rincewind with, my God, can this war finally please be over? Can I please just go home already?
Yeah. I'm surrounded by these meatheads who love doing war, but I just want to go home. And then, of course, unfortunately, on the way home, he's going to get lost for 40 years.
Yeah, because he's got to have an odyssey.
And then there's a really good bit where like they tell him, "Oh no, you'll get home fine," and then they meet him again in hell, and he's like, "Hey, why didn't you tell me? I would have walked."
Actually, on that note, Rincewind's a fucking dick in this book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there was no reason for him to make Laviolus' life worse.
Like, you could argue, oh, it's because, like, you can't mess with history or some stuff, but they don't even bring that up.
No.
Like,
No, they kind of do, because, like, they weren't originally going to burn down they weren't going to burn the palace down, but they just sort of accidentally did it on the way out.
Yeah, they figure, it's a fixed point in history or whatever. You can't change the past or whatever.
Yeah, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, or whatever.
Yeah, but like he could have, at least tried.
Could have told his own blood ancestor about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get into some shit. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah,
it's
like people are gonna remember you. Mm-hmm. There's a pretty good bit about like where the demon says, "Well, I'll be damned," and then he's already there. There's a really hot scene with the Demon King getting so mad he rips through his clothes.
Oh, that
absolutely.
Was cool.
Yeah. Our token scene of Terry Pratchett doing something extremely horny that he has no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why the scene works.
He did describe it as, with a rather sensuous ripping noise, the red silk across his back tore open and his wings unfolded.
There is nothing you can do that involves ripping silk that isn't horny to somebody.
Yeah. Like these wings were made of magnetism and shaped space and spread out until they were a faint curtain against the incandescent firmament, and they beat as slowly and inexorably as the rise of civilization.
Yeah, that was fucking hot.
Actually good prose in the middle of all of this. What the shit?
Ooh, that was a corker.
Yeah, fuck, it was good.
And this is for the guy that looks like I called him a Spirit Halloween reject in the summary, and I stand by that because the entire point was that he just looked like he was trying to sell us Underwood deviled ham.
Yeah, because like that's his whole thing, right? He's like he wants to be the CEO of hell. He's got like a desk full of like weird little executive toys. He's all about strategy memos and this and that. So that's his whole bit. And so it's really it's kind of hot to like. Oh, he's getting so mad he's tearing through his fucking suit.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool and rad. And
it's hot.
Yep. That's all there is to say on that matter.
All right. The only other
I'm going to be real. I was too exhausted by this book to be like, oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Most things in it.
I remember going, oh, this is great, and then it immediately fell out of my head because it just got pushed out by the Irago that is the rest of this book.
It was an island of horny solace in a sea of shit. Speaking of characters who just got pushed out of the memory of this book, my paperback copy of this book has a picture of a scarlet macaw on the front. Yeah. And there is, in fact, a parrot that features in this book somewhere. Yeah. But you really wouldn't notice it that much.
Yeah.
Because...
no, I definitely remember because the parrot was around up until they gave it off to Ponce de Quirm.
Yeah.
The parrot but it was like this Margaritaville ass bird that was just hanging out and being loud and obnoxious.
Yeah, because he was Eric's parrot, and then like who immediately clocks Rincewind as a wizard, gets into this whole argument with him, and just like constantly antagonizes Rincewind. They go back and forth, which is why Rincewind palms him off on Ponce de Quirm.
Yeah, but it just there was a joke there, but it seemed like the joke was completely lost on.
Yeah. What if a parrot was a dick? I guess.
Like why even? And then also the fact that was like the most salient thing that the cover designers for this paperback could come up with to put on the front of the book instead of anything demon related or anything like that. Just is really wild to me.
Yeah, like the original like Josh Kirby cover does in fact have like the demon guy on there.
Yeah, like stuff from the book.
Yeah, I thought this book would be about parrots.
Very weird.
I thought like the parrot would be Eric or something.
This book wasn't about anything.
Yeah.
And not even like the Seinfeld way. It just didn't have a point.
Yeah.
Wait, I wonder why. Okay, so the cover art makes this big obnoxious thing about how it's like Faust strike through Eric.
Yeah.
Like the only thing this has to do with Faust is that demons are involved and a bargain is struck.
Yeah.
What does Pratchett think Faust is about?
It's about a guy named Faust who makes a bargain.
This?
That is it.
Okay. Yeah, so we know that this book, according to Pratchett, is a parody of Faust. So what does Pratchett think is in Faust?
Parrots.
Well, yeah, parrots.
Faust is when you're a teenager and you summon a devil to get laid.
Yeah, and that's
the Randy Newman version.
There's time travel, and you end up going to hell, which is also a Holiday Inn.
Yeah, like I guess that Eric I guess it was kind of a shitty deal for Eric, but like the demons make this big deal about like, oh, we have to get Eric, whatever his last name is, Thursley. We have to get Eric Thursley because like his grandfather was a great demonologist or whatever. Like they really want to get Eric. They really want to like send a regular demon there to get his soul and use him to like do bad shit. Because apparently demons aren't good at coming up with ideas. It's humans that are the real monsters, blah, blah, blah.
That was probably one of the better, at least conceptually, the idea that demons have really bad imaginations.
Yeah, which is,
I like that, but...
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, so Eric never really makes a bargain with anyone.
No, he tries and it doesn't work, and it's just not that good.
It's more like... it would have made at least a slightly tidier bit of sense if Rincewind had been roped into being like a genie of some sort, considering how the genie in Sourcery was a similarly anachronistic, yuppie sort of take on that myth.
Yeah. Also, I don't think you typically get 3 wishes from a demon. I think it's it's like one bargain, which can include any number of things, but like.
You get an unholy pact, and then that leads to either one thing or you get any number of things, which is how the Warlock class in D&D plays.
Yeah,
and then you pay for it later.
In a lot of okay, Faust is not like a single unified story because it's too old for there to be just one single unified version of it. But like one of the more commonly used one is that Faust strikes a deal for incredible magical powers for a set number of years of his life, and what he does with those years is the thing that varies the most.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't what happens here. That isn't even slightly what happens here. So
no,
I don't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm. It's just confusing.
Yeah.
I think I've been thinking about it, and I think one of the other problems with this book, aside from it being bad, but like if you look at Sourcery or basically any of the Rincewind books, none of the world building in them feels like it matters at all. It'll just be like, hey, we went to random weird place. Haha, isn't it wacky? Now it's gone. We're never going to go there again. We went to the Ephebian Wars. It's a parody of the Odyssey. Haha. All right, it's over now.
Yeah.
We'll never go back there or mention it again.
I mean, like, the only thing that really stuck in my mind was, the librarian's still an orangutan.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it feels like there's nothing there to grab onto, so I'm going to forget this book, and I'm never going to have to think about that weird shit that happened in Hell or anyone in it, which is weird, especially after Guards, which is the book where I'm like, I'm going to remember everything in this book.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that, I'm only saying it now because it's not going to come up for 8 months, but, like, Rincewind will show up. He'll not really have any proper explanation on how he got back to the Discworld or how he ended up where he is. I think he's, like, on a desert island or something, and Eric is definitely not there, so...
Yeah, Eric died on the way back to his home planet or something.
Who knows? Maybe he managed to summon an actual demon this time.
Hey, good for him,
Yeah.
Good for him.
Second time's the charm.
Yeah. I do want to say, the book also opens with, like, Pratchett understanding the difference between erotic and kink.
Yeah.
Well,
that was interesting.
This is where the librarian is cool, swinging, and hanging out in the part of the library where they have to keep the erotic books, such as The Joy of Tantric Sex, on ice.
Mm-hmm. I thought that joke was funny. Only the librarian was cool. He was also swinging and hanging out.
Yeah,
because he's a cool guy, and also he's literally doing those things.
Yeah,
he's an orangutan.
It's a good joke.
Adorable.
It's from the part of the book
while
that's
we were
good.
still in the Unseen University, there was still something fun happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when books could be fun?
Yeah.
Okay. One more good joke, and then I'll stop reading from the list here. But so they're doing the Orpheus and Eurydice thing. And well, how do you escape from hell? Well, it helps if you bring a lyre. All right, I have a 5-legged dog.
I will always love that joke, no matter where it's
that's
used.
Good.
Right.
It's always funny in the stupidest way.
God,
every time.
I laughed at it when it was in History of the World Part 1, and I laughed at it here. It's just comedy at its finest. Or it's just comedy. Yep. Okay. Did we have anything else we wanted to say about the book, or did you want to just go to the ratings?
I don't really have anything else to say.
It was just kind of bad. Like, yeah. I'm trying to think, like, is there anything y'all really liked about this book?
I'm trying to think.
That.
Like, the first part and, like, part of Hell was pretty funny. Like, there were some good jokes in there that I appreciated.
Mm-hmm. And I appreciated every bit where he was actually building a world. Even if we're never going to see Pandemonium again. There was actually some attempts at world building in there.
I like Laviolus, and I can't wait for him to return in the next Discworld book he shows up, which is, checking now, never. He never comes back, ever again.
Dang. What are you going to do?
Well. But he was nice.
We know that he scored at least once because Rincewind is here.
He has a wife.
Good for him. He managed to keep wizardry out of the family until Rincewind got there.
I mean, Rincewind is also fucked. We know this about him.
Yeah. I'm also checking on the Wikipedia page for Eric, and under the reception section, which is very, very short, Gardner...
Oh, this is actually really good.
Gardner Raymond Dezoy, who is the founder of the America's Best Science Fiction Anthologies, called it Downright bad. The only Discworld book that I actively disliked and found a chore to read. Which, wow. The only one. Zingerino. Also, apparently an audio serialization of this novel in 4 episodes of about 15 minutes each was broadcast on BBC Radio 4 in 2013 of March. Which, wild. Did y'all run out of literally anything else to broadcast in 2013, BBC?
They could only fill an hour with this thing.
Yeah.
God.
You could have just had somebody playing the kazoo into the mic for an hour straight. I would have preferred. But yeah.
This book was bad.
Yeah.
I know I've said that like 50 times, but this book just fucking sucked.
It's bad.
I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy reading it, and I am very excited to not have to think about it ever again.
Like, I have less notes on this book than I have on a typical episode of Warehouse 13. Like, it's bad.
Oh, that is bad.
I was terrified you were about to say tight pants.
Oh, I don't take notes from on tight pants. That's all off the dome, baby. Except for sometimes I'll have like a really good joke I want to inflict on my co-hosts.
Warehouse 69 is a science. Tight pants is an art.
Yeah, tight pants is jazz, baby. Deal with it.
Does Homestar Runner know what jazz is?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that he thinks that any music that is not ska or 80s hair metal is in fact jazz.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's sung jazz, or at least he's sung the theme from Night Court starring Richard Mull.
Oh, well, that's jazz, basically,
Yeah.
sort of, more or less.
Adding Homestar Runner's jazz opinions to the list of things we like discussing more than this book.
I'm so sorry to our listeners who just listen. We had that great episode on Guards.
Yeah.
And
If you're one of those freaks who listens to the latest episode first, and this is your first episode of Discoverers, first off, thanks for joining us, and second off, I'm very sorry that this is
please
what
do a good episode.
Please go back 1 episode, or probably forward 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Is my guess.
Guards, fucks. It's a great book.
Yeah. Guards, the book knows what sex is.
Yes,
no, that's
it
actually
does.
true. Damn.
Yeah, think about that.
Yeah, really makes you think.
Really makes this book does not make anyone twink. Eric didn't make anyone twink at all.
Yeah, I think that should have been one of his wishes. I think he should have wished that Rincewind was a twink. I think he already kind of was, but like...
I want to believe that he's a twink. In the Technicolor panorama of my mind...
See, this is why we need better Discworld books than this, because when we get shitty Discworld books, these are the conversations that happen.
The rumor come out, is Rincewind a twink?
Yeah, I mean, you lift up the robes, and he's got, like a pair of, like, booty shorts on with Wizard with 2 Z's picked out on them in sequins. It's great.
Yeah. Like, consider the following. A, everyone is constantly bullying Rincewind. That's mostly it.
That's your entire argument. Okay.
B, he's limber.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
dear listeners, if any of you draw Rincewind as a shitty twink wearing booty shorts that say wizard, but also still with the world's worst beard and hat, I'm not going to do anything except be supremely disappointed in what our podcast has done.
Hey, Iris, how many more urban fantasy episodes do you still have to illustrate?
I have one more, and I think I just decided what I'm going to do.
Oh, no.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank
you for planting
no.
that evil seed in my mind.
Beautiful.
Love it. So my adult Patreon subscribers can look forward to that in a week. And you can just click the unsubscribe button on my account immediately afterwards. You're welcome.
Or you can stay around and see some good pornography. All your
That's
pornography is good, dear. You do excellent work.
Thank you. All of your pornography is very good too, Grace.
Aw, thank you. I'm blushing.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go to the ranking.
Things that are better than this book are pornography.
Fucking truth.
Yeah.
So, would y'all, on our big board of official rankings, would you say that Eric is better or worse than The Color of Magic?
Jeez, I don't know.
This is what I was most excited for this entire podcast.
Here we go.
How are we going to rank this? Because this was bad.
Yeah, this was worse.
This is like an entirely separate category.
I want you to, Just clear everything from your mind and think. You're in a comfortable place, and you have time to spare. There are 2 books in front of you. One is The Color of Magic. One is Eric. Which one would you rather read?
Color of Magic.
Yeah, Color of Magic. Like, when we finally have to break down and put this thing into a tier list, it's seriously going to go S, A, B, C, D, Eric.
Y'all hated it that much.
Eric.
God damn.
Holy
God,
shit.
like I can.
Well, now I have to make the ranking list because that is too good not to do. The E's for Eric. Eric goes at the bottom.
Or F for Faust. Come to think of it.
Well,
wait,
so
you have the F
scratched
tier.
out
You
E.
have the F. Yeah, you have the F tier. You cross out your right E.
E for Eric. I mean, when I was in grade school, I think we had grades that were F up until I think I was in. When I moved to Maryland for middle school, instead of Fs, they gave out E's. And that was like the first time I had ever experienced an E grade because it was like, oh, weird. Yeah, I guess it was like to take the sting off of getting an F, where it was like, oh, you didn't get an F, you just got an E.
But it means the same thing, right?
It means the same thing. You're below 50th percentile. You absolutely fucked the class.
Yeah, because like F means fail or flunk. That's what it means. Like
E means extra not good. S.
Excrement.
Extraordinarily bad.
Eric.
But yeah, so we'll just slot that right in at 9 out of 9 books that we've read. Congratulations. That feels like a perverse accomplishment in itself. Way to go, Eric. If this were golf, you'd be number 1.
Congratulations, Color of Magic.
Before we finish, I'd like to make a bit of a defense of Eric, as odd as it may be. Yeah. I will say, I don't know if this book is actually worse than the Color of Magic. I think it might, on the whole, be a better book, and I think we might just be judging it way harsher because of the fact that we just read an actually good Discworld book.
Yeah, like,
and now it's like,
so
now it's like, compared to that. Having said that, I think that's a valid reason to hate the book. Fuck it.
I would say that we spent more time debating where the Color of Magic fell when it was the only entrant than we did on trying to debate where to put Eric.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like this was a clearer decision. And also, I remember there were parts of the Color of Magic that I did find charming. I found the Wormberg concept really enchanting. I found the bit with the bar scene, even though it was like rudimentary, there were still hints of greatness there.
Yeah, and mind you, this book had its good parts. It had, the chunk at the beginning at the university, pretty good. There was some decent jokes.
That was maybe like 3 pages.
It wasn't good.
Not a lot.
I
think you may have illustrated to me exactly why I dislike this book so much. It is, even including the, Sourcery and some of the other stuff, maybe the most shitty, cynical Discworld book so far. Mm-hmm. It just hates you for enjoying it. It hates you for reading it.
Everyone in it sucks. Everyone's constantly rude to everyone else.
Yeah, it's everyone's mean. Rude or complaining or being a shithead to somebody else or having a laugh at someone else's expense, or the narrator is having a laugh at someone's expense, and it's just like, this ain't what I signed up for, Chief.
There was one bit, I'm only saying this as a point of order, the fact that there was another Arch-Chancellor, because they still haven't put Munstrom Ridcully on staff yet.
Oh, God,
But that was so minor in this that I completely forgot that it was a thing.
Does Ridcully... Sorry.
Ridcully is in charge by Reaper Man.
Oh, thank God. Because he's the one who really makes the university work, IMO.
Yeah. Introducing Ridcully gets us the faculty that, 3 out of the 4 of us already love, and June might already... Not June, sorry, June. That Grace sort of accidentally read and has some idea what's coming there.
Mm-hmm.
They're why I like the Unseen University.
Yeah.
But... It's again, just... A lot of things just stick out for being weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Weird and bad and mean and not fun to read.
And also, one more thing. Even though The Color of Magic is a bad Discworld book, it is still at its core a Discworld book. If you filed off the serial numbers of this book, it would be very easy to turn it into a book about some other fantasy universe entirely.
You wouldn't even have to scratch all that hard. You could just go
Exactly.
at it with a penny for 10 minutes and you'll scar it up.
Like that's the thing, right? Like it's also like we were saying, it feels like kind of a shitty Hitchhiker's Guide book too, right?
Yeah, well, the Hitchhiker's Guide entire premise is, what if the entire universe was run as badly as my bland British existence is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think part of the thing is in Hitchhiker's Guide it works because Hitchhiker's Guide is a cynical story at its core. That's what the books are trying to do. They're trying to be cynical. That's what they are.
Yeah.
It's hey, it sucks to exist. Let's make jokes about how much it sucks to exist.
There's sort of a sympathy in it. This is all fucking terrible. Nobody really wants it to be fucking terrible. I mean, I'm sorry. I wish I could do something about it, but unfortunately my hands are tied because everything is fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very humanist. It's very...
Eric is just very, everything is terrible because fuck you.
Skip this one, y'all.
It's kind of like, Terry is... We expect better from Terry. At least, we expect a little more optimism, a little more, faith in humans.
Unless you're a super completionist, you don't need to read this one, and that brings the count down to a nice round 40, which feels more manageable somehow than 41. I don't know.
You can have 40 Nordy United books.
And 13 original podcastees. Shout 'em, scout 'em, tell all about 'em. I'm not going to recite the rest of this song.
Yeah, this outro is weird, y'all.
I am baffled by this.
The problem is I have these podcasties, but I only have 2 nipples, so I don't know where to put the third one.
What?
Well, I mean, if you have an outie belly button, you just put it down there. Belly button's just the third nipple that God gave us.
Iris, you're so wise.
What on earth are y'all talking about?
Okay,
I don't know anymore.
Okay.
Don't read Eric. It makes you do a podcast episode that sounds like this. You don't want that.
I'm just being reduced to being the Justin on this episode, just giggling inanely at everything anyone else says.
Welcome to my Discworlder, my Discworlder, my Discworlder, and me. I hope I said the right number of things.
It's an advice podcast for the fruit bat era.
I'm your Princessiest Grace, Princess Grace.
Let's get out of here before we get any worse.
Yeah, thank you for listening, everybody. We appreciate it. You can follow us on the socials medias at DiscPod on Twitter, or if you're into decentralized social media, at DiscPod at queer.party on Mastodon. We also have a website, anchor.fm/DiscPod, easy to remember. And we have an email address in case you want to send us some nice, encouraging notes about fan mail or bring up some stuff you read about. Don't read this book. It'll be better off if you don't. But if you do, let us know what you thought about it at disc@hypnovire.us. That's DISC at HYPNOVIR.us. All of these will also be in the show notes. If you're the kind of person who cannot easily translate somebody spelling out something auditorily into typing, which I understand, neither am I. Did y'all want to plug your pluggables? Oh,
I was gonna suggest if we all have something big to plug, go ahead. But I'd also like to say let's end this podcast by suggesting something better you could do with your time than reading this book.
Oh, good idea. Yeah. I'm Iris J. Iris J Comics on Twitter and Masto, and I have a Patreon/Iris J, just drawing comics and shit. I have an adult Patreon at Distressed Egg too, if you're into spicier stuff. But don't go if you're under 18, or else I'll find you and I will give you a very stern talking to.
It's true. Iris can smell you through the computer.
Yeah, I can jump through the phone lines like Robin and the Dreamweavers.
I'm Belina, and I am thoroughly confused and worried by this.
Iris, you completely failed my thing. You have to suggest something.
Oh, I have to suggest something. Oh,
yeah.
Watch Robin and the Dreamweavers. it's a completely unhinged, old, made-for-TV animated movie. The character designs in it are advertised in the credits as being created by, quote, a mad Dutchman, unquote. And it's about the first baby born in cyberspace and her one-woman war against internet porn. It's really good.
Oh, that sounds rad.
Thank you so much. I was saying this solely because I wanted to hear you say, watch that movie. I'm so glad it worked.
Yes.
Okay, try that again. My name is Belina. You probably want to just grab me out of the show notes because every single link that I might give you is not spelled the way that it sounds. Because I'm not very good at social media, apparently. Let's see. The best I can think of is, let's just pop open what was the last thing I read on my Kindle. Just go read This Is How You Lose the Time War again.
Yes, do.
Yeah.
It's good. Rules.
That is good.
Very good.
It's not much longer than this, and it's a hell of a lot more fun.
Yeah, only one of these books made me cry a huge mess on an airplane. Ringing endorsement.
Aww.
Eric made you cry?
No. Maybe like cutting onions. Fall in London made me cry more than Eric did.
Cutting onions and accidentally getting the tip of your finger at the that'll do it.
Yeah. All right. I have been the internet's beloved Princess Grace. You can find my writing, programs, podcast posts, everything else is fit to plug, including the 2 other podcasts we referenced today as a joke, at princess.software. Instead of reading Eric, you could... I don't want to just say read my pornography. That's just plugging the same thing twice. You could go outside. Yeah, I could. You could
go outside and read pornography.
Yeah, you could
go outside, touch some grass, read some smut.
Yeah, exactly. You could read
Please make sure that you're over 18 before you do at least one of those.
Yeah,
if you're under 18, don't you dare go outside ever.
You have to go. You have to get back in your pod, baby.
Yeah, and a big eagle could come right down and swoop you right up and feed you to its babies, and that's scary. Yeah, you gotta wait till you're 18 when you're heavy enough for eagles to not be able to pick you up.
Yeah, look, you have to be an adult before you get grabbed and gravid. We all know this.
It's true.
June?
And June, what about you?
I'm June. You can find me at Twitter /at Juniper Theory, and I suggest instead of reading this book, play Psychonauts 2. It was really good.
Psychonauts
I really enjoyed my time with it. I did not enjoy my time with this book.
Psychonauts 2 was legit, what I think it's going to be game of the year for me. It's really good.
Yeah. It is much better than you'd expect.
I just finished running through Psychonauts 1 again for the first time. I don't know how long since it was released. Unfortunately, the back half of it doesn't really age well, but I knew that going into it.
Yeah. Folks at home, you do not have to have played the first Psychonauts to enjoy Psychonauts 2 or the VR outing Rhombus of Ruin. You could just play Psychonauts 2 on its own. It will explain everything it needs to you.
Yeah. It's great.
This has been a podcast, I guess.
Yeah. Until next time, folks. Keep on disking, and
love to disc.
Yeah, next month, moving pictures. So grab your popcorn and your bunch of crunch, and we will see you at the movies.
Hell yeah!
Truly, it was FAUST scratched out for no reason at all.
Yeah.
This book sucked.
This book sucked.
The nicest thing I can say about this book is that it was short.